The 2nd of February, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos. Share screen. You're on.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Lord. And as Lou said, this is Rabbi Shlomo, first year Yeshiva Tzalman Nafshi here in Yerushalayim Kerev Zoom. This is our first year in the morning. We're learning Pierke Avos, the Maral Miprag's explanation of the ostensibly the 13th Mishnah in the 5th parak of Pierke Avos. We have there Arba midos benosnei tzedakah. You have 5, as the Maral is explaining, we have 4 different types of obligations that are involved with the giving of tzedakah. And as we said, we have the 4 types, and we're now in the paragraph, V'kasha lama lo yitin. Well, this will be a bit of a review, but we have, right, so I'll put it on, if I can put it on the, you'll see here where the green little arrow is over here. You see with the little green arrow on the right-hand column? There you are. We'll start with that. Anyone like to begin reading?
I do.
Okay, we'll go ahead.
All right, I see it. The kasha, lama lo yitain v'yitnu achirim, eno ra'a b'shalo. And we can ask the question, why the one that does not give and it's okay for others to give, he has a bad attitude towards himself.
Right.
Lo nikra Rasha. Why don't we call him wicked? Shaharei mona atzmo min hat tzedakah. Because we see that he's refraining from giving it tzedakah himself.
Right. So that if a person has a mitzvah to do, and he's not going to do that mitzvah, apparently that would be, at least in the question, that would be apparently grounds to refer to him as a Russian. He's not interested in doing a mitzvah. So he's not interested in doing a mitzvah. Apparently should be referred to as a Russian.
Right. Umipnei shehu rotzeh sheyitnu achirim, and because he wants others to give, v'chi bishvil zeh, and because of this, yatsa miyedei rishaso. He goes out of the category of being wicked.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure if this is still part of the question. Meaning, is this meaning really, since he's preventing himself from doing a mitzvah, he should be called a Rasha, and because like maybe you could read this as a question, and because he wants that other people should do the mitzvah, that is going to take him out of being in the category of a Rasha, right? So I'm not sure if that's a question or if that's the answer. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
Okay. V'gam zeh ein kasha. Ein hakavana she'omar sheyitnu achirim rak hu mishtadel b'chol kocho umatriach atzmo ma'od sheyitnu achirim. Okay, and also in this, he is. It's not a question, since it's not his intention to say that others should give. Only he is trying with all of his strength, what's matriach?
He's matrik is to put forth efforts. He himself is putting forth
efforts himself very much that others should give.
Okay, so let's let's take a look at this again because this is the beginning of his answer. So again, kasha lama lo yitain acherim ainu ro b'shalo lama lo nikra Russia. Why isn't he called a Russia? Shari monei atzmo min tzedakah, because he's preventing himself from doing tzedakah. Umimnei shehu rotza litain acherim v'chi b'shvil zeh yitzei midei rishasa, and because he is willing that other people should go ahead and give tzedakah, that should take him out of the category of being a Russia. Gamza ain kasha. This is also not a question. Why? Ki, since ain kavana shoma yitin acherim. The kavana is not that when it says in the Mishnah yitin acherim, rak hu nishtadel b'kol koicho matrich atzmo ma'od liyitin acherim. It's not that he's talking about that he is putting out tremendous efforts with all his efforts and troubling himself very much in order that other people should give. That's not the pshat. The pshat is Miyitnin acherim doesn't mean that he's going full force and going to such an extent that he's enabling other people to give. That doesn't seem to be the pshat. Okay, let's continue on. We're still in the middle of this.
Ve'ein ro'i sheyeh nikra Russia ki hagavna she'ein Russia rak mi shehu ra the brios v'zeh eino Russia the brios rak tov the brios. So it's not fitting that he should be called wicked, since in this case he's not wicked. He's only one who is a bad attitude towards others.
Yeah, in this case, he's not a Russia. Rak mishu ro lebrius, meaning it's only this that should be like a comma. Shein a Russia, comma. Now because he's going to define what a Russia is in this context here. Rak mishu ro lebrios. Only one who's a Russia, one who's doing bad for people.
And this person, he's not a Russia to the people, to other people. He's only good to other people. Sheharei matriach ma'od sheyitenu acherim. That we see that he makes an effort very much that others should give. Rak ma she'aino ra'a b'shalo. It's only that he has a bad attitude towards himself. Ubishvil kach, and because of this, eino rotzeh sheyitain aval Russia lo shayich. Because of this, he's not wanting to be. He's not wanting to give, but Russia is not appropriate. Likroso to call him Kevan shehu mishtadel sheyitanu achirim, since that he puts in efforts that others should give.
Mhm. So, so I'm a little bit confused. I'm not sure how in terms of how the question was posed, I'm not sure how the answer uh, really really answered the question. Um, Again, the question was, since he's preventing himself from doing tzedakah, why shouldn't he be considered to be a rush? Um, Simply because he's um, enabling other people to do the mitzvah, but he's not himself doing the mitzvah himself. So that's not a kasha. It's the kavan is that it's not simply that he wants others to give, meaning he's putting forth efforts that other people should give. Since he's putting forth efforts that other people should give, that saves him from being called a Russia. Because you only call a Russia somebody who's doing bad to people. And this person's not doing bad for people because, see, he's troubling himself very much in order that other people should be able to give. Right. The only thing is, however, he's doing a disservice to himself because he has an ayin ra b'shalo because he doesn't want to give himself. So that's something which is relevant for him. And since he's not doing anything bad to other people, it's not fit to call him a Russia. Okay, I guess that's it. That's good. Okay, good. Good. Let's continue on.
Excuse me. Rabbi Buneman also suggests that it's possible that he's willing to give, but only if others give. So, for example, his relatives, if his rich relatives will give, then he'll give.
Mhm.
But the question is then, why wait for your rich relatives? What excuse is that?
Yeah. Does that fit? I was thinking about that also. Does that fit into the, have these, when they make these appeals, sometimes they say they have, matching. Somebody's in the background and he's going to match. For every dollar it's given, he's going to give $1 negative, connected that with $2 connected that, right?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So
I think that's generally the idea, is that it makes the person feel good. It makes him feel like his contribution is going to have more impact.
right, I understand. That's from you. Like when you're gonna give $180, so someone's in the back, he's gonna double that, right? He's gonna give another $180, so that you feel that you're doing a lot more. But I'm thinking about the person who makes that agreement. I'll meaning you, whatever you raise, I'll match it, right?
Mm.
So is that falling into the category of a person? Meaning I'm not going to give. Meaning my giving is dependent upon other people's giving. Meaning let's say nobody gives, right? So if nobody gives, he's not giving anything.
Right. No, because that's not a thing to do with him. That's just something from the outside that would. Yeah, no, I don't know. Because this is a call it a special case, I suppose, or some gesund vodka.
It's early in the morning.
Roy is prescribing you to drink some vodka right now.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to have breakfast since I went to Muheda today.
Well, you can kill two birds with one
Shot of
stone.
vodka on an empty stomach. That'll help your cough.
Yeah.
It'll help something.
Right. No, I think it's a special case, I suppose you could call it that, in that it's not a I don't know how to describe it, but I don't think it's that.
It's a little bit different than what the Rebbe.
Yes, it's on a different level, on a different idea.
Yeah, I understand.
He's not saying I'm not giving because he's not giving, so I'm not going to give.
Right.
But But this bloke, if no one gives, then maybe he's going to give something anyway.
Right.
He
It could-
hasn't precluded that.
I guess it all depends. I mean, let's say he's willing, so look, I'll give $1,000 and plus I'll match what everyone else gives as well.
Or he might say, I'll match what everybody gives twice, give twice what they give, but if they don't, I'll give 1,000, whatever.
Okay, good, very good.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on. Yesh Makshim, for those who ask about the last part of this mission.
To Kamar, Mutain, V'yitenu Achirim Chassid. That it says that somebody who gives and he wants others to give, he's a righteous person. Ma Chasidus Yesh Khan. What righteousness is there here? Hare Mechuyev Sheyitain Tzedakah. We see that he is obligated to give tzedakah. Uvishvil mishkayim. I'm sorry. Shemekayim mitzvahs tzedakah ein roy sheyu nikra chassid. And because he fulfills the mitzvah of tzedakah, it's not appropriate to call him a chassid. Rak she'eno rasha, only that he's not a rasha. Aval lefi ma she pirushanu lo yiksha klal. You know, lo yikasha sha klal. But because of this,
Rather,
the explanation,
rather according to what we've explained, rather according to what we've explained, lo yikshaklal, there's no difficulty, there's no question at all.
there's no question at all. Ki ma shamar yitain v'yitenu acherim hayinu shehu mishtadel b'chol kocho sheyitenu acherim. Since the one who says that he wants to give and he wants others to give, he is putting in efforts with all of his strength that the others should give. Matriach and his efforts. I'm sorry, that they should give. He gives his efforts. The asa acherim sheyitenu, to enable others to give.
Right, meaning he's giving and he's making sure that other people give. Meaning he is making efforts. He's going beyond the letter of the law to make sure that other people are giving as well.
See, he could give without anybody knowing. So it'd still be doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
But here he's trying to get others to fulfill their obligations as well, and giving them the chance to have some merits.
Correct. Meaning he's not simply just taking a passive attitude that I'm going to give and it's very good that and I'm happy that other people is giving. Not just passively standing by here. Rather, he is he's actually going out and enabling and making sure that other people they fulfill their obligation as well as too.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
It's odd to me that there doesn't seem to be any middle ground. You have the person who wants others to give, and we say he's doing all of his efforts to make that happen. And you have the person who says he doesn't want others to give, and you're saying he's got an ayin ra, he doesn't want them to give. There's nobody in the middle who says, look, I'll give, and others can do what they want. I don't care whether they give or not.
Exactly. That's exactly the point, because the question is, why is this person considered to be a chassid? A chassid is, an extremely pious person. He's on a high level, right?
Right, but aren't there people who are in the middle?
Apparently, but now whether or not, now again, the one who doesn't give and he doesn't want other people to give, so he's a Russia, right? And I guess we're gonna have to say he's a Russia because he's actually going ahead and stopping people from giving, meaning he doesn't. It's not simply enough to passively not care whether people give or not. According to what we're explaining here, he has to be doing something actively, which is detrimental to people, which means he's actually going out apparently and stopping people from giving tzedakah. So that's what gives him a label of a Russia. But the two middle cases, right? The two middle cases, Ayin Ra b'Shaloi or Ayin Ra b'Shalcherim. I'm not sure. Do you think that those two middle cases cover the moderate person, the person who's he gives but he's happy other people give, but he's not doing anything actively to encourage other people to give as well? Don't know. Maybe he'll deal with that
Okay.
Hold on, let's see.
Sheyeh die Sheyomar Ani Etain, that it's sufficient that he says I'm going to give. Ma she this Hashem.
Hashem is Baruch. Yeah, Siva Osi. It's enough that what a Kadosh Baruch Hu is commanding me.
Hashem, that's what Hashem commands me.
Right, meaning really that's really sufficient in a certain way. I mean, in terms of his obligation, it's sufficient that that's what he does.
Aval litroach atzmi sheyitnu acherim kevan shekavar asisi v'hamutal alai. But to trouble myself that others should give, since that already I made an obligation upon myself. The kihai gavna.
Kevan shekvar asisi hamutolai. Since I have already done what's incumbent upon me to do.
In this case, Eino mechuyev rak hu midas chasidus. In this case, where he's not obligated, we only call him a chassid.
Meaning, meaning when he has done what has been incumbent for him to do already, to do anything more than that, right? In that case, he's not required anymore a rak midas chassidus, only because of the characteristic of chassidus, meaning to go beyond what he is actually obligated to do. So that's a requirement only for those with the characteristic of chassidus. Okay.
Riker?
Yeah, Shita, it's obvious.
Peshita im lo yitain af al gav shehu matriach atzmo sheyitnu acherim, it's obvious that if he doesn't give, even though he troubles himself that others should give, ein roy sheyeh nikra chassid. It's not proper to call him a chassid. Ki ma chasidus yesh kan shaharei hu eno notain ulefichach eno notain ulefichach amar eno eno roy ra.
Eino ro bishalo. He has a bad attitude towards himself.
Towards himself. So that here we see that he's not giving. Therefore, we say he has a bad attitude towards himself.
Yeah, but he's also going on another point also. He says it's obvious if he's not going to give himself, even though he's matriach atzmu tinacheri, even though he's putting forth efforts himself that other people should give, ein roy nikra chassid. He shouldn't be called a chassid for that. Kima chasidish yeshkan. What kind of chassidus is over here? Sharihu einoi no saying because he's not giving. So if he's not fulfilling his basic requirement, you can't call him a chassid if he's not fulfilling his basic requirement, even though he's in fact putting forth tremendous efforts himself, right? And therefore it's called a bad attitude towards himself because you see he's deepening our understanding of what does it means, what is it that he's has a bad attitude towards himself. Because if we would just fulfill his basic obligation, meaning he's putting forth, imagine this person, he's putting forth tremendous efforts that other people should give, right? But still he can't be considered a chassid because he himself is not giving. So all he has to do is also give himself, and since he's putting forth all those efforts for other people to give as well, he would be called a chassid if he would fulfill his basic obligation himself. But therefore, since he's not giving himself, therefore it's considered aino ra b'shalo. He's making a detriment to himself, and he's causing a loss to himself, and he has a bad attitude towards himself because if with just that other effort of doing what he's supposed to do, he would be called a chassid.
V'yesh makshir.
Makshim. There are those that ask.
There are those that ask. Sheyeh lo lomar aino ra'a bilvad, v'lo shayich lomar aino ra'a b'shalo. There are those that ask that it is for him to say, it is about him that we say he has a bad attitude.
Yeah, well, it should have been, meaning it should have been said in the Mishnah. There are those that ask, Shayalola Omer, it should have been said, it should have been the phraseology, the expression of the Mishnah should have been, right? Aino ra bilvad. Just say ayin ra bilvad. V'lo shaykh lomer ayin ra b'shalo. It's not appropriate to say ayin ra b'shaloi.
Daha b'shalo ain aino ra. Because this towards himself, this is not a bad attitude. Rak aino ra ba'achar. Only a bad attitude towards others. She'eno rotzeh l'tate lo ukedachsiv v'ra'a aino ba'achim ba'achecha.
Let's see. This is a pasuk in Devarim. Maybe it's worthwhile seeing the pasuk. Let's see.
Well, let me try and translate first, and then do that, please.
Mhm.
It's only a bad attitude towards others that he doesn't want to give as it's written. And it's a bad attitude for you.
Achicha, but in your for your fellow, your brother,
Or your fellow.
right? Ach is brother. So
Okay.
where is
All right. So Devarim Tetvav.
Devarim Tezvav? Where is it in the pasuk?
This is 9, is it?
You have it there. To mark it down for you, Roy.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got the test. I've got 8, 9. What is it again? Test above is what, 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
Vav is 6.
Above is 6, right. I've got it.
We have a pasuk.
Yeah. And you should know that not because of your righteousness,
What pasuk are you reading, Roy?
6
Mm.
in I think that's right.
No, it should be 15. Should be chapter 15.
Oh, chapter 15.
The ninth chapter 15, the 9th pasuk.
Oh, well, I haven't got it. I thought I had it. All right.
15.
15, and what did you say? The 9th, the 9th,
Verse number 9, right?
15, 9, okay. Beware lest there be lawlessness, lawless thought in your heart, saying, the 7th year approaches, the remission year, and you will look malevolently upon your destitute brother and refuse to give him. Then he may appeal against you to Hashem, and it will be a sin upon you.
Right. This is where the psukim, the preface to Shemitah, right? That people shouldn't get nervous that Shemitah is coming, and if they lend out money, they're going to lose their money because the loans will be mishtamet, the loans will be nullified, right? So therefore, he shouldn't have a bad attitude towards his brethren, right? Okay. So now, how is this pasuk being used in this context now? We could exceed raw einecha be'achecha. Okay, and you can say Isaac. Okay, it's saying, and again, what's the question? The morale is saying there are those that ask that it doesn't seem appropriate to use this expression "einu ra b'shvaloi," a bad attitude in himself, because it's only einu ra rak einu ra ba'acher. Einu ra is only appropriate to use in reference to somebody else, as you see from the pasuk, right? So that's the question. Okay, that's the question. The question is, this phraseology is only appropriate to be used with somebody else, not towards a person's own self.
The ain kasha ki habrios.
Ki ha base. No, he's talking about the letter base, right? He's going to teach us some grammar right now, right? Ki ha base, the letter base, right? Bishalo, right? It says bishalo or bishalacherim, right? What's the base here doing here? So the base mishtameshes veloshin im. Here, the base is being used, mishtameshes is being used, veloshin, in the expression of im. The base means im, with, right?
Who base hakeli kamo ba'avan
Evan yad hakohen. Hakehu.
Yad. Hakohu.
Meaning that means like with the like a stone in his hand, he hit him with a stone from his hand, or with his hand, a stone with his hand.
So the base is the base means with, as in this phrase, he hit him with a stone.
Right.
Okay, so I lost the point.
No, so the question was, it wasn't appropriate. There were those asking the question. It didn't seem appropriate to use this expression "ayin ra b'shaloi," right? But because it means in him. If you learn the bays just meaning in, he has a bad attitude in himself. That doesn't seem to me make some sense. But we're being taught now that the base is used here with the lashon im, so he has like a bad attitude with himself. So that makes sense.
Okay. Weiter?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can't finish it up. Yeah, we should be able to maybe try and finish it up.
Okay.
Ratzula Omer. Just means to say. So now he's explaining, what does it mean that he's an ayin ra b'shaloi?
Shehu Baal Ayin Ra Im Mamon Shalom. And he is a person with a bad attitude with his own money. V'chein Eino Ra B'shel Acherim. And therefore, he has a bad attitude towards others. Shehu no heg minhag ayin ra hara, because he has a custom to have a bad attitude. Im mamon, with money. Shehu shel achirim, that is money of others.
Right.
So he's accustoming himself to have a bad attitude towards money in general, which is going to apply to himself and to others.
Right.
Ve'ein haperush shenotein ayin hara b'shalo. And it's not the explanation that he gives a bad attitude with himself.
This a little bit. This is ayin hara, meaning it's not an ayin raw, right? It's an ayin hara, meaning don't say the explanation is that he's giving an ayin hara. He's giving like a curse to that which is his. That's not what it means here.
Rak perusho sheyesh lo ayin hara b'shalo. That it's only understood that there is for him a curse on himself. She'elu haya ayin tova he notained La'achar of al yesh.
Okay, one second. Rak perusho. The explanation is sheyesh lo ayin hara b'shalo, meaning he has a bad attitude with that which is his. She'ilo haya ayin tove. Would he have a good attitude? Hayanosin la'acher. Because if he would have a good attitude with his own properties, his own possessions, he would give he would share with others.
Aval yesh ayin ra'a b'shalo l'chach eno nosein la'achar. But there is a bad attitude with himself. therefore, he doesn't give to others.
Right. Therefore, since he has a bad attitude towards what is his, he's not able and not giving to other people.
Umishana,
Mishnah, this Mishnah.
in this Mishnah, Roy Shetehei Achar Dalid midos Shali.
I mean, that was the previous Mishnah we had. The Dalid midos no states Adam, right?
Right.
Why is he saying that it's appropriate this Mishnah should follow after that other Mishnah that we just learned? Why? What's the connection between this Mishnah and that one?
Shagam Osa Mishnah Midaberet Be'enan Zeh.
Indian Zeh.
The Indian Zeh. That also this Mishnah speaks of this subject.
Right. It's talking about the similar subject, right?
Rak she ha hachaluka she asa hatana beves. I'm sorry, with two bebet.
He split it into two Mishnayos. The Tana split it into. It's really talking about the same topic, but it was split into two Mishnayos.
He split it. Shemishnayos hakodmos haim
Shavim legamri.
Shavim legamri.
They're all equal together.
Equal. Bishnehem amru yatsa shachro behapasto.
Hefsedo. They within both of them they were speaking about Yotzi Scharo Hefsedo. He lost what he gained through his losses.
Umipnei shehem shavim legamre sidram biyachad, and because they are equivalent, I guess what legamre is completely.
They're completely equal. They're equal. They were completely equal. Sidra and Biaka, they were arranged together. Maybe we'll go over this again next time. We'll see. It's just explaining the connection between this mission and the next. Okay, very good.
Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Furst, and thank you everybody else.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Shkoyach, Lou. Good job.
Especially Lou. Yes,
Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a break now and see you start again soon with Mr. Rusha.
Okay.
Okay.